06 Uniform Sierra Yankee Delta Mike 06.
Okay. K6USY, K6MYC.
Good evening, Mike. You're making power.
Yes, I am.
What direction are you pointed? I'm hitting you at like S7, S8 right now. That's not too bad.
I'm pointed at as close to 180 as we can get, over.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so you're getting a bouncing in my direction.
Yeah, I'm pointing right at the mountain. I'm going to go south now. Just on the outside chance that N6SWR or somebody down the south gets going on 432 here.
Able, 6 sugar.
There's the missing soldier.
That's right, you're about 15 over here, whatever direction you're pointed, you're strong.
Hi, Bill. K6U.
How you doing? Hi, Aaron. You're about an S2, Aaron, about an S2.
Yeah, you're about an S2, S3 up here as well, but I can hear you.
Actually, I looked at the meter. It's an S0, but you're Q5.
Well, the band's pretty quiet right now. We're not getting racked with radar.
Yeah, rotate your all-directional antenna and point it towards me.
Yeah, this band, well, I can't rotate anything on any band. This is two horizontal loops.
Now, that was a joke. When we were in business, one of our salesmen sold a guy stacked non-directional antennas with a rotor. How's that sound?
Yeah, it looked pretty cute up on the roof, spinning around in a circle.
That's what you call a salesman.
Yeah, I've with the conditions are right, I've made it all the way over to Santa Cruz on this antenna.
I can believe it. Right from the store, I used to work K6UQH with just 10 watts in Saratoga on 6 meters, so anything's possible, I guess. Of course, I said stacked non-directional loops with high gain things at 100 feet. That made a difference.
Oh, most definitely. Oh, Mike, I was going to tell you, even though HF has been kind of crappy the last couple of days, I ended up working Easter Island on 2 bands. They were booming in on FT8, and annoyingly, I worked them this afternoon on 12 meters strong enough, I probably could have worked them on sideband.
Yeah, is that the highest band you worked them on?
Yeah, I worked them on 60 meters last night, which of course doesn't count for DXCC, but I got them. And then I was monitoring 12 meters remotely from work today, and they were the only signal on the band, and they were just booming in at a plus 12. And I'll have to look at my log, but we both gave each other plus, signal reports.
Yeah, well, they should be coming in like that on 6 meters. Tom indicated yesterday, KW6S, that he'd been hearing them on 6, but he couldn't get back to them.
Yeah, I know they've been working 6, but I sent them a plus 19, and they sent me a plus 10, so we could have worked each other on sideband.
Oh yeah, piece of cake.
But you work them where they're currently working. They've had people hounding them to switch frequencies, and they just nicely tell everyone, we're ignoring you.
Missed the last of it. I just plugged in my YouTube Bluetooth. And that took you out for a second. Over.
Oh, no worries. I was just saying that, people always like to complain to these DXpeditions that tell them to switch to different bands and modes and whatnot. And, most of the DXpeditions will very nicely tell you that they're ignoring you because they have a schedule to, or, they're working, certain parts of the world or trying to work certain types of propagation and, having their stations configured in a certain way. So they're not taking requests.
It's too bad they can't be more flexible. Okay, well, let's see. You and Mike were both missing the last couple of days. Is Mike okay? Bill?
Yeah, I'm here. Let me turn this other thing off here. I was checking 40 meters, some guys on AM there. They had the other rig on. Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead, Mikey.
No, I said you and Mike were missing the last couple of 3 days. I just wondered if Mike's okay.
Yeah, he's got the flu, and I've been engrossed in repairing, had ordered some more parts. I got 3 Altec 21D condenser mics I'm fixing for a friend of mine that's got a recording studio there in LA, so I've been refurbishing them. I took the cabinets over to the powder coater today so I can get reblasted there, hammerstone gray, and try to make them look like they're brand new again. Go ahead.
Yeah, very good, very good. We did not hear W6QUI at all. He wasn't on Sunday night. I did not hear him on Tuesday, and I did not hear him on Wednesday. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Well, maybe he'll be around tonight, but he's been busy at that. He works at that museum there, and what the heck is it? Right when you. Anyway, they're in Paso Robles.
Yeah, it's a museum for what?
Everything. That aircraft museum. They got electronics there. I got to go over and see one time. He said he'd take us through it. They got all kinds of military radios. You name it, they got it there. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. That sounds interesting. Okay. Maybe he will be there tonight.
I hope so. He repairs a lot of that stuff, too, all the electronic stuff they got there. The guy's mighty sharp.
Yeah, he doesn't offer any of that skill, or at least talk about it, but I guess he is.
I'm just going with what I saw when I was there. He had a solid state homemade low band amp, and everything he runs is military, like World War II and what have you. And it's all hooked up and working.
Yeah, very good. Well, let's see. It's 7:30. We can check look for. Well, I'll call him and see if he's there. N6SWR. He had a booming signal yesterday on 2 meters, and he says he's gradually improving the station. So he was very loud on 2. Best I'd ever heard him, with no flutter and no multipath or anything. So I don't know. He did not say he would be on 432, but we're still waiting for him to get that thing to transmit through a building or something.
7-2.
7-3.
Oh, that was good. I like that. W6BBS checking in.
Okay.
KC5DTU checking in.
Well, hi there. Did you get your extra class license, or what happened there?
I blew it. Didn't have a chance to study that much. Well, I had the chance, but didn't do it. So I'm going to go the next go round.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Rob put a lot of hours in apparently on studying, and he did pass his, of course. How about? Was there anybody else in there we knew?
You probably know him, but I didn't. And Ken did an excellent job of teaching the class, but with the grandkids, all of the school activities and everything, I didn't put in the extra hours, so I was off by 3.
Well, not bad. You know what it takes now, so should be easier the second time. You can probably skip the class and just bone up.
Well, an old bonehead like mine, I need all of the refreshers. So I told Ken I'd be still be calling him and probably call on some of these experts like AA6S. There, Bill is an expert. Answer some of my questions, and I'll be ready the next time.
Okay, good to hear you. Boy, this Cornell and New York University fiasco and all the other crap that's going on with these idiots that are claiming that they are part of Hamas. I think they ought to round up a lot of them and ship them home, man.
My sentiment's exactly on the back of the antenna.
Yeah. You want to give N6SWR a call there, Bill?
Yeah, that's why I rotated. I also wanted to say hi to Carrie there, and everything I see on what I watch, the economy is within about a week of totally collapsing, where it starts week after week going down worse and worse. N6SWR, AA6S, stable label 6 sugar. Are you around, Ben? Over. So are you. Let me, if you keep talking, I'll peek the antenna there. Yeah, you're coming in here good. N6 SWR, AA6S. Go ahead and I'll move the antenna back and forth and see if I'm on you or just close or what. Go ahead, go ahead. N6SWR, AA6S. Q5 is not moving the S-meter. This thing takes a lot to move it. It's not like the other rig with the preamps on it. But Q5 there, congratulations. And it looks like it's doing its thing. Let me see if Mikey's copying you. K6MYC, AA6S. Go ahead, Mikey.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not hearing a trace of his signal. Maybe you'll have to move it for me. He's probably optimized on you, but I'm not hearing a trace here. Is he vertical or horizontal?
I assume he's horizontal. Ben, you're horizontal, aren't you? Over. It's a horizontal beam, and it's horizontal. Well, he's not real strong here, but he's Q5, so I would think I'm right in the middle between him and you, Mikey, so it should be pretty close. I'm pointing about, what's it say here? I don't know how accurate it is. About 150, 160 degrees, about 150, 160. When I moved across, I could copy him without any trouble. Anyway, congratulations there. N6SWR, AA6S. All you need is a little bit higher there in your Fat City. Go ahead.
Ask him what his power level is.
Okay, Ben, N6SWR. Mikey wants to know how much power you're running. How much RF are you running there? Go ahead, go ahead. QSL, 50 watts. 50 watts, Mikey, go ahead.
Okay, well, doggone. You might ask him if he's hearing me. N6SWR and 6 Sugar Whiskey Radio. Any copy on me, Ben? This is 800 watts and 2 Yaggies at 95 feet. Kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie standing by for N6SWR. Over.
Are you copying anything from Mikey there, Ben? Over. Apparently not. He dropped down a little bit, Ben, but still, you're not copying Mikey, is that correct? Go ahead. QSL, no copy on Mike. Okay, well, I'm going to turn my antenna around the other direction there and see if what else is happening in the other direction there, but copyable here, and you're checked in. N6SWR, AA6S. Yeah, try pointing it towards the east and bounce off one of the rocks. That might help. Go ahead. He rotated his antenna off towards the mountain. I can still copy him, but can you hear anything, Mikey?
No, I didn't hear any change. Nothing here. Nothing here at all. And I was going to ask him something else. I guess I was going to ask him if he's got a rotator, but obviously he does. So that's good. And 50 watts, gee, we ought to be able to hear him. That's really strange that we can't even get a trace of him here. That's not that bad a path. I don't know. N6SWR, K6MYC. He should hear my 800 anyway, Bill, over.
He's not hearing anything. He's hearing me okay, I guess. But I'm a lot closer. And, I'm running about 700 watts on peaks. I could put the drive up a little bit here, but I don't think 30 or 40 watts would make any difference there. I'm going to turn the antenna back towards the north, Ben. N6SWR, 73s, AA6S.
Tell him he is checked in. I got him checked in. Over.
Yeah, I think Bill told him that, Mike. KM6SR.
Were you hearing anything, Rob?
I heard something in the noise there, but I couldn't make it out there. I moved around a little, but, this is my system that's all messed up, so I was lucky to do as good as I did. Over.
Need to get a 500-foot tower there. Get over the rock. N6SWR, 73s, AA6S, and turn it back towards Fresno.
Did you tell him he was checked in?
Tell him what?
Tell him he is checked into the Bozo Net. Over.
Oh, I told him he'd be checked in. I told him that.
Okay, I didn't hear that.
Antenna's coming around, and you can probably tell that.
Okay, well, let's go over toward Atascadero and see if you can roust up Mr. Ron over there, W6QUI. See if you can get him going.
Get this thing like a log.
Doubled all the way.
I think I worked every station, every whatever they had in South America here about 4 months ago, but none of it came up on a log, needless to say. Anyway, back to you, Mikey. AA6S, over.
Bill and Mike doubled.
Yeah, I didn't hear who you said you worked in South America.
No, I said about 4 months ago I worked about everything there was there, but I need to get my login thing working. I don't even have the computer hooked up right now. I mean, it was, I had so many guys calling me, with a stacked 5s and running about, I think I was running about 700 watts. I didn't want to overheat the thing, continuous key, but, I mean, I was getting signal reports that were scary. Go ahead.
On what band, Bill?
That was 6 meters about 4 months ago, whenever it was.
Easter Island has been coming in. Have you been listening lately?
I haven't had the thing on. I had everything disconnected when I thought it was going to be some thunderstorms, and been working on those microphones. That's a project and a half. Everything in them is shot.
What kind of microphone has a hammer tone case? No, just a microphone, isn't it? Does it have a big box around it or something?
Oh, these are Altec 21D cardioid condenser microphones. The power supplies are remote, of course. It's got a 5840 inside the microphone. The mic's about 7/8 of an inch in diameter, and the power supply, the filters, the ones for the DC filaments, everything was shot. It had selenium rectifiers in it for the filaments. The filament voltage was low. I'm putting in some real high quality capacitors. I got some CRC caps I'm putting in them, and a bunch of other stuff there. Mikey, go ahead.
W6BBS.
Go ahead, Frank.
Hey, Bill, how are you doing? This is Frank W6BBS. I don't think I've actually spoken to you since you got your hands on it. Was you satisfied with that SW3, over?
Oh, yeah, it looks fine. Just like the pictures, no problem. And happy to have it to add to my junk collection. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, very good. Well, I'm glad it went somewhere. You know, it's been sitting in a closet for several years, and I did at one time take it to a couple swap meets and whatnot, but just there was no interest, and I felt it was just too nice of a piece just to let go. And then when you happened to mention something with coils, I couldn't even remember what it was in the box, but that's what started it. So I'm glad you're pleased with it and was happy with it. So very good. A6S W6BBS.
Yeah, Roger. I'll change the plug on the end of it. I've got 2 or 3 of the matching power supplies that go with it. Somebody put 6-volt tubes in. My power supply are 6-volt tubes, but they're direct plug-in. You just plug the other tubes in, take the 56 or whatever it's got out, and plug in a 27. But no problem. It looks good. Main thing is cosmetically it looks good, and everything turns nice. Get something that old, you never know what's happening. Go ahead.
You know, that belonged to Bob, excuse me, W6GR. And when he took on a project to, you know, he wasn't like a repainting cases or anything like that, but he liked to take stuff and just kind of clean it up and make it work right and all that. And like I said, I thought it was kind of a nice piece, but I know nothing about that old stuff, and I'm not a collector. So as long as you're pleased, I'm pleased, and I guess we should let Mikey carry on with the net, over.
Roger, I went and hit the mic button and jumped to a different frequency. I put it down, and it's got this stupid push buttons on top of it. I'm sure Mikey knows what I mean. I went to some other frequency. W6BBS, AA6S.
Yeah, okay, very good. Well, you're back. We'll let Mikey take over the net, and have a good evening, Bill. AA6S, W6BBS, back to net.
Yeah, thanks, Frank.
Okay, let's go to a Atascadero, Bill.
Okay, Atascadero it is. Okay, I'm out at Atascadero, W6QUI. W6QUI, W6QUI. Are you around by any chance, Ron? W6QUI, A6S, over. W6QUI, W6QUI, AA6S, over. Nothing here, Mikey.
Yeah, I don't hear anything either. Okay, I guess we'll go up and get KW6 Sugar, Santa Cruz.
Yeah, Roger. I have to get him to hit his antenna down towards me here. I'm coming around to Santa Cruz, which should be about there. About there, I hope. W6S. I guess you're pointed towards Mike. Pointed towards Mikey. You're way down from normal. KW6S, but you're copyable. AA6S, over.
Well, I sometimes get a little offended if I'm referred to as normal. But, yeah, this should be a little better.
That brought it up, or either that or the path change. Q5, no problem. KW6S, AA6S. Hope everything's going good for you there. And back to you, Tom. KW6S, able 6 sugar, over.
AA6S, KW6S. Yes, things are going well here. Doing some antenna rebuilding in the garage, traffic station. And otherwise, things are going pretty well. Working Easter Island a bit and trying to work them on 6.
I guess I have to fire mine up. What time were you hearing them?
Oh, I haven't heard them yet. I see where they're spotted. It appears that they're turning on the 6-meter FT8 right before the hour, and probably stop and jump on something else at about the hour, and at about the half hour. So I've been trying to get ahead of the game, but so far no luck.
Yeah, Roger. I'll have to pick my computer back up, even if I can't, it doesn't log. I can at least manually put it in my log and do it the Portuguese method there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've got mine all automated, so it does the log for me. If I do everything right, sometimes it doesn't log it, and I have to frantically type in all the info real quickly.
Yeah, well, I'm not a computer guru, so I don't know what to do with a stupid computer. Our son is, but he's in Maryland, which doesn't help me any. I can't get the daughter to help me because she doesn't care about it. And my other computer buddy's over at the coast, so that's where I am right now. KW6S, AA6S, over.
Very good. KW6S. Yeah, I struggle along through it. I've got most of it straightened out here.
I understand. Well, it works fine on the CS890 driving my big amp, so I don't have any trouble making contacts on it. But it just doesn't log. I mean, it copies everything perfect. There's no problem there. It just doesn't put anything on the log. And I'll turn it over to Mikey there. I'm sure he's got antennaed at you there. K6MYC, AA6S.
Okay. Good evening, Bill. Good evening, Tom. And you're pretty weak when you're pointed down toward Bill, but I can copy 100%. You were okay when I first heard you. KW6S 610, K6MYC. Good evening.
K6MYC, KW6S. Yeah. I was hearing you there, but to play along better, you point in my direction here. Getting a little bit of fast flutter on Bill, and I was getting that on you a little bit earlier, but not now.
Well, it's kind of a funny, distorted flutter. It's not exactly a flutter. I don't know what it is, but it's chopped up. The audio is chopped up on you as well.
Yeah, maybe things that, boy, the solar flares really seem to knock out the higher band for me the last couple of days, so I'm hoping it gets back to normal.
You came way up at the end of the other transmission. That time you're down so weak I can hardly hear you, over.
Well, I'm getting up to the power level, so I should be okay.
Wow. It's barely readable. Not at all a Tom signal. I'm not running normal power either. I don't know why. It's only running about 600 watts, but I don't think it'll help any to drive it up. Let me just see if it helps any.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Frank, W6PBS. Tom is a solid S5 to S7 every transmission here. Yeah, a little up and down, but not much. KW6S, W6BBS. I'll copy, Tom, over.
W6BBS, KW6S. Oh, I copy you really well here. Somewhat better than Mike. I'm hearing you fine. I tried to listen to the speakers today, and I could hear the 2-meter one without too much trouble. It's pretty close to the noise level. And then the 432 one was just, I could tell it was there. I could tell I was tuned on it, but I couldn't read the CW.
Okay, very good. Well, improvements to come sometime in the future on that. All that's being worked on by a few different people. All right, I'm going to turn it back to Mike. Just FYI, Mike, Tom dropped quite a bit that time, but I heard him all the way through 100% copy here. K6NYC, W6BBS.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I'm having to do with Tom, I had to go up to about 290 in order to get him to signal strength to come up. So we're still seem to be off about 20 degrees here for some reason.
Boy, you're up good and strong now.
K6NYC, KD6, that's okay.
Yeah, I know, but I'm pointed toward the Bay Area. It may be just propagation for you, Tom, because there's Fred in there in good signal. So let me do this. Let me clear with you, Tom, and I'll see if I can peek on Fred and see what's going on. We recalibrated the system today. When Frank was here, we carefully calibrated the system. The controller seems to have a few glitches, and it's doing the same thing to me again tonight, Frank. It doesn't want to go. Sometimes it gives me the E area error, and then I try it again, and then it takes off and goes. Sometimes it has like a 5 or 10 second delay, and all of a sudden it takes off and goes. I haven't quite figured that one out. Anyway, it's doing some weird stuff. I think we're pretty close to calibration. When I get done, I'll finish with it at 180. I'll put it at 180 again and go out and look at it tomorrow if I can remember. Okay, Tom, back to you. 73s. We'll see you Sunday night. Good luck with Easter Island there. KW6S in the group, K6NYC.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, tomorrow I'll be around here intermittently, and I can jump in and see if Easter Island comes up on 6. And that's one that I think I should be able to do. So I'm hoping that I'll get them on either 6 or 10 meters. I need them on 10 as well. Anyway, catch you Sunday night. K6NYC, KW6S.
Okay, now I'm pointed back at 275 where I should be for you, so the band is just doing tricks on us, over.
Yeah, you came up again.
It's all over the place here. Righty, 7-3. And good luck with them, wherever you happen to catch them. Over to you, Fred. Let me see if I can get this antenna up on you a little bit. KD6SOK, K6NYC.
Hey, good evening, Mike. Good, strong signal. Really strong here. It's been a beautiful day. It was a little bit warm, but it was okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. 4 barrels of weed later, over.
I thought you got the last weed last time I talked to you. So another 4 barrels of weeds from the yard?
Yeah, this is a different area in the yard. It's all in my backyard here. Yeah, I got a big yard, Fred. Fred, you don't know it, but I got 19 sprinkler systems, so figure that one out.
Wow, that's a lot of sprinkler systems. It's huge. How many acres you got? 10 acres?
Well, I have 40 acres here, but the house sits on about a third of an acre.
That's enormous. 19 sprinkler systems. So you're probably pretty active for trying to plug the leaks and find out which sprinkler heads are broken.
Well, that's a continual thing. I've got all the sprinkler head count is probably 6 to 7 times that, so I probably got over 100 sprinkler heads. Right now, most of my trees and things like that, I do a little bit of spray watering with rainbirds and spray heads, but everything else is drip feed. I have devised a drip feed system that uses Gatorade bottles, and I put 3 holes in the side of the Gatorade bottle and 1 hole in the cap, and then I put the drip feed line into that bottle and stake the bottle to the ground in the well around the tree, and that's how it works. Over.
Yeah, that's pretty clever. I like that idea. I was just imagining that. So that's a pretty good way to water the tree. What kind of trees do you have?
Well, I have orange trees. Oro Blancos are like they're like a grapefruit, but they're Oro Blancos. And I have three lemon trees, one raspberry lime, and 2 full lemons, and then I have a tangerine tree. I have an avocado tree. I have 2 pomegranate trees, a nectarine tree, and a peach tree. I have 3 or 4 orange trees around the yard. So, yeah, when we moved here, we put in a lot of different things to see what would work, what would grow the best, and everything grows quite well here. Over.
I'm envious. I love fruit trees. That sounds like a nice combination. I love orange trees. Those are my favorite, and the peach trees as well. Well, I'll keep you. You sound good. Good signal here, Mike, tonight. So thanks for checking me in. Good to hear you. I'll say 7-3, 86. That's okay. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah. What tree did you say you like the most?
I love orange trees, and I like peach trees, number 2. My favorite tree is orange trees. I just love fresh-made orange juice.
Okay. I just eat them. Well, we used to squeeze them. At my other house, I had 9 full-grown orange trees in Friant. And, God, we made gallons and gallons and gallons of orange juice and froze it. But here I don't get that many oranges. I get enough for eating. And we might squeeze 1 or 2, but most of the time there's not. The trees are dwarfs. And with the watering systems and limitations and so on, some years I don't get very many. This last year the crop was kind of marginal. Some years I get a ton of oranges, and it didn't happen this year. I think we'll do better this year. The blossoms, I think, set. We had a lot more blossoms this year than the year before, so hopefully I'll get a bigger crop of oranges. No problem with lemons. I've got 10,000 lemons.
Very good. Yeah, I like eating oranges as well as orange juice, so that's pretty cool. So I like that. All right, Mike. 7-3, KD6S. Okay.
Okay. Good evening, Fred, and we'll see you Sunday night maybe. KD6S OK, K6MYC Bozo Net, looking for other check-ins in the Bay Area.
And 5MPD, Brett and Newman.
Okay. Hi, Brett. Good signal. Let's see, 1129, right?
That's affirmative.
See, if you check in every day, I can remember your number. I have a 24 to 36 hour memory, and then it goes away.
Yeah, I'll try. All the 2 meters and 70 centimeters, that's all I got. So I'll give it my best shot.
I'm just getting it written in here. There we are. Anyway, good signal down here. What are you using on this pen for 432?
Still that old E antenna that I have up there. It's that one that does 2 meters and 70 centimeters. So hopefully when the rain goes away on Saturday, I can get up there and change everything out. I got that new antenna for the 70 centimeters, and then also 2 meters with the rotator. So we'll get that all squared away, hopefully on Sunday.
Okay. Well, all things considered, the little one is doing pretty good tonight. I think this is the best I've heard you on 432. So not doing too bad. All righty. What is your rig, by the way? I'm just curious. What's your radio?
Yaesu 991A.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I had one until I couldn't see it anymore. I'm going blind. I don't know if you knew that or not, but I'm legally blind. But I just couldn't read the damn knob positions and the buttons anymore. It's all black and black buttons and black everything, and I just couldn't read it anymore. So I sold it to somebody, and they like it.
Yeah, I can't read it if I don't have my reading glasses on. I can't see the little numbers underneath everything, you know, like the RF power. It'll say 50 watts or whatever, and I can't see that without the glasses on.
Yeah, well, I can't see anything with or without the glasses on. I go by rote, or by feel, I guess, and no, I can see a few things. I can see bar graphs. This 9700 has a bar graph on it. That tells you what percentage, but I can tell more or less that I'm either 50% up or 30% or 70% up in power. On this band, it goes from 0 to 70 watts. On 2 meters, it goes from 0 to 100. And on 1296, it goes from 0 to 10 watts. So pretty nice radio. I've got 2 of these. One's in the barn. And that's what's on the stream. If you look at the stream, you'll see a picture of the front panel of my radio.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, too bad there wasn't a way to remote this radio into like a little, maybe a 15-inch laptop screen or something where you could see things a little bit bigger. But I don't think it's an option with this one, if I remember correctly.
I don't know whether it is or not. I kind of doubt it. I have a later version. When I sold mine, I got a FTDX 101. And so on that one, it does have a widescreen. I have a widescreen up above it. The screen on the FTDX 101 is about maybe 5 by 6, so it's a big screen anyway, but I still can't read it. But when you put it on a 30-inch widescreen up on top of the radio, it's pretty nice. Over.
Yep, that would make it look a whole lot better, but I think some of those other radios have that option. They have that HDMI cable or something like that output on the back, but this one doesn't, so upgrade for the future.
Yeah, well, you might look at an FTDX 10. It's kind of a slightly smaller version of the FTDX 101, but it has a lot of the same features, and it does. I have one of those in the barn, and it's playing into the same monitor I have on this one, and it makes a very nice picture as well. Over.
Yeah, I need to actually dedicate an actual room for all this stuff. It's all out in the garage right now, but this summer is going to be a little bit too toasty out here for all this, so I need to do some changes, but anyhow.
Okay, well, good to work you. Thank you again for giving me feedback on your station there. Sounds good, and I know you'll be making improvements as time permits there. N5PBD, K6MYC, clear and listening for anybody else in the Bay Area for check-ins to the 432 Bozo Net.
WA6AXX, no traffic.
Okay, perfect double with somebody in UED. Of course, you dominated, which is normal from your location. WA6AXX, and I think it was W6PQL. Hang on a second, Jim. Anyway, good evening, Ed. Hopefully things are well with you, and looks like we're going to have a little weather on Saturday, doesn't it?
Yeah, like half an inch or more, so that's kind of surprising, but then sunny skies all next week.
Update weather.
Sounds good. K6MYC, WA6AXX.
Okay, and somebody said weather. Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, Mike, I was rather surprised. I just looked at that like 2 minutes ago, and I was going to tell you later, but you and I have both been upgraded to possible of 3/4 of an inch on Saturday, and then I'm at 3/4 of an inch for Saturday night, and you're 1/2 inch for Saturday night. So it's increasing instead of going down at this point. Over.
Okay, so we could get as much as an inch and a quarter or so.
Yeah, if it gets everything predicted, Saturday and Saturday night, you get 1 1/4 inch, I get 1.5 inches. Over.
Oh, wonderful. I need to wet the ground here. These goddamn weeds are so tough to the ground now. I'm really having trouble pulling the weeds out. Even the grass doesn't want to come out. I was working that area where my fruit trees are, where we were working today, and man, oh man, I got up near the top of where the cement wall is, and man, oh man, is it dry up there. I really wore my arms out trying to pull the weeds out of her.
Yeah, I was watching you there for a bit. Well, in fact, you saw me around those bottles. I got down there on my knees and was pulling a little bit too for while we was working on that system. And I was just amazed at how hard the ground is already and how hard those weeds are to pull out. It's hard to get them out with the roots, over.
Yeah, exactly. And it's getting worse as I went through the day, I think. So I'm hoping the rain will soften us up a little bit again.
All righty, sir. We'll carry on with your net.
Thank you. 711. Hi, John. Good to hear you. Off the side or back of the antenna. How's it going there?
Just got home, had a bite to eat. Now I'm going to fire up all the radios and check out what's on the air. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry, John, I couldn't copy it. When you called in, I got your call okay, but I couldn't get what you said. You're very weak here. Can you bobble? Just wiggle the antenna a tiny bit and get a little more signal to me here. K6 Mexico, Italy, 711, K6 MYC.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I swung the beam around. Just got home, just had a bite to eat. Now I'm in the radio shack and checking everything out. K6 MY, thanks.
Okay, yeah. Well, you moved the antenna. You must have also tried to bring the power up, and you've got that same RF or some kind of distortion, but we copied you. So I did not hear the distortion before, but I hear it now. Anyway, you know about that. It's usually when the radio's cold. Enjoy the rest of the evening, John. Thanks for checking in. K6 Mexico, Italy, K6 MYC.
Thanks.
Okay, Ed, let's see. I think we got you taken care of. I didn't look at anything too much there. Let me get it over to Jim, W6PQL, I think it was, K6MYC.
It was, yeah. Okay, well, pretty good golf day today. My best ever was in the last 16 years I've been playing. I got a couple of 78s. Today I shot a 79, so no complaints. I didn't lose any golf balls either. K6MYC, W6PQL.
Yeah, it's always nice when you don't lose any balls. That's good. That's not my game at all. I have to go with about 10 extra balls in order to get to the end. Over.
Oh, well, I started out like that for sure. I guess you just didn't hang in there long enough, huh?
Yeah. Well, it helps if you can see. If you don't go playing golf with a partner that's got good eyes, you're in deep trouble. Over.
Well, that's true. It's probably not that enjoyable for you now. Okay, well, that's my report. See you later, Mike.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, I haven't swung a golf club for about 10 years, so I'm not even sure I know which end of the stick to hang on to. Who is it?
WB6JNN, catch you on the peak here.
Yeah, boy, it's marginal all of a sudden. It was real strong for Jim, and then he took a dive. But you're Q5 at the moment. Good evening, Jim. Wish these conditions would flatten out. Maybe it has something to do with the sun. The sun's got the HF bands all screwed up, particularly on 40 meters. I can hardly hear the locals. Even in the daytime on 40, it's really weird. WB6JNN, K6MYC.
Yeah, well, you're getting up around S7 right now. You were down around S3 to 5. So I'll keep it short. WB6JNN.
Okay. Well, you better get your machine out and fly it today and tomorrow, because you're sure as hell not going to fly it Saturday.
Yeah, I missed today. Unfortunately, I have some things going on. But maybe tomorrow. WB6J.
Yeah. Good evening is right. Boy, oh boy, I didn't get much of that except you came up again at the good evening part. See you, Jim. Have a good one, and we'll see you Sunday night. Maybe things will settle out by that time. WB6JNN, East San Jose, K6MYC, clear and QRZ, Bay Area, Bozo Net, 432.
Kilo 6 Whiskey India Sugar.
Yeah, Kilo 6 Whiskey India Sugar. Good evening, Paul. Not bodacious, but still a reasonable signal on the bounce path. How's old 637 today? W6 or K6 Whiskey India Sugar, K6 MYC.
Hi, good evening, Mike. Glad you could hear me. Conditions are pretty poor on the bounce this evening, but got you maybe peaking in there. So anyway, we've had some very nice warm weather here, but we're waiting for the storm on Saturday. So I wonder how you copy.
KE6VON 1040.
K6WIS, over.
I missed the question about the Saturday. It looks like we're going to get 1 inch to 1.25 inches of rain here, I think. Is that what you asked?
Yeah, Roger. It wasn't a question. I was just stating that we're getting ready for the rain also, over.
Yeah, okay. And I hear you, Adam, KE6VON, in Fresno. Or Madera, actually. You're in Madera, K6MYC. We got you, Adam. Stand by just 1 sec. Okay, let me just find out from you. Paul, do you have any other check-ins here? Do you have the guys in Clear Lake or not?
Nope, no negative on the check-ins, but I did hear AA6S down in Visalia when he was operating you earlier this evening, over.
Okay. I don't know if Bill's still in here or not. Hey, Bill, are you still here? Alpha 6 Sugar, are you still with us? K6MYC with K6WIS in Placerville, hearing you, over. I think Bill's gone. Sometimes he comes in early and checks in, and then he gets back to his favorite hobby, restoring old radios and things. So I'll let him know, though, when next time I talk to him. He was beaming the Bay Area and working Tom, KW6S. That's probably when you heard him, right?
Yes and no, I'm not sure, but he's got 700 or more watts, and that's probably why I can hear him. He's got a lot of power, over.
Yeah, I missed that. I've got this damn birdie in here, and boy, it's giving me trouble tonight. Maybe if you're listening, Aaron, you can turn the notch on and see if we can get the birdie out of there for a few minutes. I'm pointing right at myself now, over. Anyway, let's see. Try that last comment again. I know you do not have any other check-ins, but go ahead with your final there, Paul, over.
Yes, I'm not sure who Bill was working when I heard him, but he was coming in up to an S5, but with the QSB down to like S nothing, so it is highly variable. I don't know if you could copy that, but I'll just wish you 73s, and I'll be off and clear, K6WIS.
Yeah, well, he was... You would not have heard him until he got toward K6WIS. I mean KW6S. He was talking to Tom in Santa Cruz, KW6S. After that, he turned off, I guess. That was his last transmission. Before that, he was beaming due south, southwest, and south, over.
Okay, roger that. Yep, I was pointed 155 degrees. 155 degrees when I heard his best signal in here, over.
Yeah, roger. Well, you might have heard him on a direct path, but my guess is you heard him bouncing out of something in the Bay Area, Mount Umanum or something there. Alrighty, we'll let you go. We'll see you Sunday night. Have a good weekend, and I know it's hopefully supposed to rain. We're supposed to get a lot of rain here. We're supposed to get in excess of 1 inch, and we certainly get our fingers crossed that we get that much. That would be wonderful to end up the season here with a little bit more wet dirt. Everything now out there is hard as a rock and dry as a bone. 7-3 Paul, K6 Whiskey India Sugar, K6MYC.
Okay, 73 Mike, K6WIS is clear.
7-3. Who's the other one? Okay, Whiskey 6 something, but you're going to have to give it 2 or 3 times so I can piece it together. I've got a little carrier on frequency, and so it's giving me some trouble here. but maybe if I can get the call, I can bump the antenna toward you. The W6, try it again. Kilowatt 6 Mike, Yankee Charlie. Go ahead, the W6. Go ahead, whoever it was that was trying to check in, please, go ahead now. Did anybody else hear the station that tried to call in? I think it was a W6. Anybody hear him? Wow. Wonder why you can't get him to come back. Let's just see. Let me go up north here. Let me see if I can get KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie. I'm pretty close to where you should be, Mike. KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, are you in there tonight? K6MYC Bozo Net, over. Anybody hearing Mike there? I guess not. How about KB6BA, KT2G, K6KLMI, AB6SR, K6BVP? Anybody else in here on 432? 432 Bozo Net, K6MYC, standing by. WB6 ISO. Good evening, Dennis. I'll come up your way. Stand by. I'll come up your way. I'm not that far off of you, so it isn't that hard to move this way. And then it looks like we've wiped out the Bay Area anyway. How's that better? Okay, you got to give me longer chatter. I think I got you peaked now, but when you first came back, I couldn't understand anything. It was too weak, over.
Yeah, I knew you were pointing the other direction, but I was just wondering.
Well, give me some more chatter so I can peek on you, Dennis. There's something, I'm not getting much of a signal from you. It's almost unreadable, over.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah, you moved your antenna, whatever. Now you're 5'9", plus. How copy? Are you copying okay now, over?
Yeah, now I am, but I'm having to point in a real weird direction for you here. Anyway, I'm 317 instead of 324 where you normally are. Who knows? Anyway, good copy now. How's it going? Have you heard anything from the Clear Lake boys?
Yeah, your signal was up there and all of a sudden it just dropped off on us. No information up to date as far as Mr. Russ goes. So if I hear anything, I will relay it on. I've been in contact with his daughter, but nothing to report at this time, over.
Okay, well, the first thing that you were going to do is find out what they diagnosed as the cause of death, over.
Yeah, that has not been confirmed to me as yet. I've been talking to his daughter, Lisa, and no arrangements other than he's going to be over at the Davis, it's over in Davis where he's going to be at, the military place there in Davis. And as far as what exactly the cause was or whatever the case would be, I have not got any updates at this time, over.
You mean she didn't volunteer anything? I mean, you'd think that she'd know something. Was he sick or something before he before he passed? Was he sick or something?
No, he really wasn't. I was talking to him, and it seemed like everything was just fine. Whatever it was, it hit very, very suddenly. And I have talked to her, and so far she has not indicated to me exactly what it is. So as soon as I will get any other information, I will be certainly more than happy to pass it along to you. But I don't have anything to report at this time.
Okay, well, I appreciate you following it up anyway. A lot of guys are curious, and a lot of guys remember us from 20 and 30 years ago when we were working. When I was in the Bay Area, I used to work him quite frequently. So we go back a long ways. anyway, I know you go back even further. I think you had some closer ties even than that. Also, by the way, the Clear Lake boys turnabout is fair play. They checked you in the other night, over?
Yeah, I asked them to check me in. My 2-year array is down. I'm rebuilding the entire system. I had to order up a new run of coax, which just arrived, so I'm going to run a whole brand new coax up there. This two-piece stuff is not working. I keep having problems where the two pieces are coming together at the connectors, so I'm going to eliminate it. So I'm going from the in-shack straight up to the power divider, nothing in between, over.
Yeah, okay. Is this what pieces were coming together? Did you have coax as the power divider, or did you actually have a physical power divider?
No, the power divider is fine. Where the problem comes in is when I'm going from the LMR 600 over to the LMR 600 flex. The connectors, which is connecting the two together, always seems to be a problem in that one area.
Wow, okay. And you're crimping these connectors on?
Yeah. But it's going from a female to a male connector where they go from the 600 to the 600 flex. And so we seem to be having a problem right there. The other problem I ran across was on the power divider. I was using a 90-degree elbow, and that seemed to be a little bit of a problem. I cannot figure out how much power the elbow is supposed to handle, but apparently it's not handling what we need. So I'm going to eliminate all that. I ordered a new coax. It just got here, and I'm going straight all the way from the in-shack to the power divider with nothing in between. That should eliminate all the problems, over.
Yeah, I don't ever bother with LMR 600 for the rotor loop. I just go to LMR 400. You're not going to lose that much in there. If you were doing moon bounce, you might be slightly concerned, but generally not. And usually the preamp and the relays and everything are ahead of that, up closer to the antenna. So the preamp and the sensitivity of the system is not impaired if you have a preamp up there. But so that's why the rotor loop doesn't matter, except for a very, very tiny loss on transmit. You might be giving away another 10 watts, but it's not going to make any difference. So that's why I don't bother with any fancy high power handling rotor loops. They're usually too damn stiff no matter what you do. Anyway, good luck with that. And you said you were going to replace a whole bunch of cables, or just that one, over?
No, I'm going through the entire system from each antenna to the power divider. I'm going to go through all those. That's all LMR 400. I've got a new run of the LMR 600, 110 foot of it. That's going to go from the in-shack to the power divider. So there will be nothing in between. And no connectors, no elbow connectors. I'm going to eliminate all that problem. It seems to be the issue. The other problem I had run across through the research, I did not realize the LMR 400 is good up to about 1200 watts, and that's it. So I was surprised. I thought it was able to handle more than that, but according to the sheets I get on the LMR 400, about 1200 watts is about max it'll hold, over.
Well, yeah, if you got a VSWR, I guess that's rated at 2-to-1 mismatch, so that's why it's rated as low as it is. But if you've got a good match, I've run 2500 through it with no problem.
Yeah, well, I've been having a good match, but here recently everything's gone upside down, so I'm tired of messing with it. So I'll be off here on 2 years for just a little while. I will be able to check in on 432. I asked Dave and 1PPP to go ahead and check me in on 2 meters, so I get the other system all built up. So anyway, that's what's going on. But I figured, hey, if you're going to do it, you might as well do it right. So I got the tower to crank it down, tilt the tower over, because I do have a tilt-over section, and be able to work everything from the ground back up. I'm just going to redo the entire system, make sure everything's 100% over.
Yeah, well, you did that less than a year ago. Are you thinking you're having trouble with you used LMR 400 when you redid it less than a year ago, didn't you?
Yeah, well, the LMR 400 gave you a problem at that time, but where the problem came in last time was when it transferred over from LMR 600 to the LMR 600 Flex. The connector, the female connector, where the two came together, it was all sealed up and everything else, professionally done from DX Engineering when I ordered it up. apparently was not sealed up quite well because it was when I tore it apart the last time it was full of water, so that kind of ruined that one over.
Yeah, but why would you replace all the LMR 400 on the antenna you just did less than a year ago if you don't have any problems with it?
That's what I did do. The first time around when I had a problem with the LMR 400, that's why I replaced with the LMR 600 Flex. Because at that time there, I was having problems with the connectors overheating, and there was all kind of burn marks and everything else on them. So I eliminated that and went to the LMR 600 Flex, figuring that would solve the entire problem. Well, it did for a while, but unfortunately, the female end connected to the 600 got full of water, and it was sealed up, professionally done from DX Engineering when I ordered up with all new connectors, but somehow water got into it and it ruined it.
Okay, that was on the first batch of stuff that was less than a year old, huh? Is that the one you're talking about?
No, this is the second time around. I replaced the LMR 400 to the LMR 600 Flex, and that's where the problem came in. As big as you have a female end on one and a male on the other. And then the female end were connected to 600 to the 600 Flex. That's got full of water.
I understand that, Dennis, but I'm confused. The phasing lines for each antenna are LMR 400, correct?
Yeah, no problem with those. No problem with those. Those are all LMR 400 from each antenna to the power divider. Everything else was just fine. No problem.
Okay, so you're not replacing any of that, just this one jumper, huh?
Yeah, just the jumper from the power divider all the way in. That's where the problem keeps coming in, where the jumper is going from LMR 600 to 600 Flex. That's where the problem always comes in, so I'm eliminating all that.
Yeah, okay. I got it now. Okay. And you said on the original system, you said you were having heating issues, or it looked like something in the LMR 400 connectors were heating up. That doesn't sound like anything but maybe water intrusion got in there, and then you boiled it or burned it up. But, I've run buku power through the end connectors. They're not meant to handle it, but if you've got a flat VSWR, I run, when I'm calling the net, I can run every bit of 1500. I typically run it right at 1500, but occasionally somebody inadvertently bumps a knob and it makes as much as 2500, and I don't hurt. I got LMR 400. Everything in the shack is LMR 400 through the bird watt meters and all the rest of them. They don't even get warm, over.
That didn't seem to be a problem, and I think the other problem was the barrel connector that was connecting the original from the LMR 600 to the LMR 400 using a regular barrel connector, and that seemed to be getting a little warm in that one area. So anyway, that's kind of what the problem is, and so the whole idea right now is I'm just going to replace everything, no jumpers, everything goes straight up that way. There'll be no problem whatsoever. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on, and anyway, I'll let you go into the other people want to get checked in. Again, when I talk to Lisa, which we've been on the phone quite a bit, and I get any other updates about Mr. West, I will certainly pass them along to you. Over.
Okay, thanks, Dennis. Well, the reason I'm taking a lot of time with you on this is because other people may have the same problem and or may want to avoid the same problem. So I think this kind of discussion is worth I shouldn't say wasting, certainly not wasting net time, using net time, because it could be educational for other people. So you're not taking up any time that is wasted in any way, shape, or form, Dennis, so don't feel bad about it. That's why I'm asking a lot of questions, so I have it straight in my head, and hopefully everybody else understands what you've done and what problems you had in the past, et cetera, et cetera. So thanks for your feedback on that. WB6ISO, Rio Linda, K6MYC.
Yeah, okay, Michael, fine. Yeah, it's a learning process, and primarily if you're running anything in power, KW or higher, you got to pay a little bit more attention to connectors, okay? Maybe the coax is itself, like the LMR 400 is, it's typically about 1200, which is fine. But you have to look at the connectors. What is the connectors going to be handled? And from the investigation, each time I've gone up there and taken it apart, you look at the connectors and you can see they're really kind of getting brown looking, like they're really getting overheated. So that's kind of a really, at that particular time, I really had no SWR. I'm talking about everything looked like 1-1. So I didn't really think there was going to be any kind of an issue. But apparently, over the long period of time, it will have a problem. So, yeah, if you're running kind of power, you can eliminate any kind of connectors, elbow connectors, barrel connectors, anything like that. Anything you connect, you're better off to eliminate it if you can.
Well, that's probably true. But in all honesty, for some reason, I've been lucky, I guess. But I've been doing moon bounce, and since somewhere in the early '60s, '64, I think, when I started doing that at Stanford, and I've never ever burned up an end connector. And in many cases, in the old days, we used to have sideband contacts off the moon, and when you do that, you crank everything up. And of course, I had the 8877 in the final that was capable of 2500. We would easily be running 2500 on sideband when we were making 2-meter moon bounce contacts. Didn't figure that 3 dB was going to bother anybody, particularly when it was pointed up toward the sky. Over.
Yeah, I remember that because, if you don't remember, when you was in the Bay Area, I talked to you all the time with Les and everything else before you moved down to the Fresno area. So, we go back quite a ways from all your moon bounces and everything else. So, the problem is, I will specify to the fact that I had not run across any kind of a problem with the end connectors themselves, okay? I have not run across any kind of a problem in the power divider itself. Where the problem comes in one, is if you use a barrel connector connecting the two coaxials together seems to be more of a problem. And water getting in, that's the main problem. That's what happened this last time around. Thought everything was sealed up really, really good. But unfortunately, it wasn't sealed up quite enough. And because, as you well know, you get water in there, and boy, everything goes upside down in a hurry then, right? Over?
Yeah, absolutely. It's bad at 2 meters. It's even worse at 432, and it's a total disaster at 1296. One drop of water in the connector, and you can kiss it off. All right, very good, Dennis. Thanks for the update on all that, and hopefully it won't take too long to get everything back in the air and on the air with your 2-meter system. 73 WB6ISO K6MYC going back to Oakley.
Okay, 73 Mike, take care, and everybody else out there in Rio Land, they could copy. Thank you very much for the patience. Everybody have a very, very fine good evening. WB6ISO Bozo 86.
Okay, let me go back here just a little bit to you. Well, Ken, if you're there, N6RO, N6 Radio Oscar K6MYC. How about W6 Sugar Whiskey? Are you there tonight, Steve? Anybody else while I'm pointing in this direction? K6MYC Bozo Net 432 QRZ. I still don't know who the W6 was. There was a W6 that tried to call in earlier. I'm clearly sure I heard a W6. But I don't know who that would be. And apparently he's still not hearing me, so I guess we'll try one more time into the Bay Area and then go on with this setup here. Let me go back to the Bay Area here. There we go. Bay Area last call, kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie Bozo Net. Anybody for 432 before we go north?
Kilo Tango 2 Golf.
Kilo Tango 2G, KT2G. Good evening, Mark. If you'll give me a little more chatter, I'll peek on you. You're quite weak here on this band. Over.
Yes, Mike. Yeah, you were longest on point, and probably you overshot the year, or at least you overshot me. You were coming around, and I could hear you. Let's see if you were.
I think I lost you in there. You did not hold it long enough for me to get back on you. I have quite a bit of time to swing back and forth, so you got to give me a good 30 seconds of chatter. Over.
Okay, Roger, Mike. I could hear you now. You're coming in at signal 5 obviously. Yeah, on UHF I'm not that strong. I only have a four element Yagi. That's 6 pointed to your QTH. So let's see if you were able to peek on me overall.
Yeah, I got you Q5 now, Mark. KT2G, let's see if I remember this now, 863, right?
Yes, you got it.
Oh, see, I can remember it one day, but when you go away for 2 weeks, I forget it.
Yeah, it's the fault on my end. So were you able to take a look at the website? I told you the other day to buy the car.
Well, we've been trying to get to it. We keep getting problems with one thing or another keeps coming up and getting in the way. And so I just haven't pushed it with my friend Judy. She's got some things that she's trying to do with her daughter up in San Andreas. They're trying to get some very important legal papers back and forth, and she's trying to do some stuff with the county up there, and it's just taken up too much computer time. So we haven't gotten to Carvana. It's on my list. I keep asking, can we do that now or can we do that this evening? And it just hasn't. There hasn't been good enough time to do it. And when we have the time, we're exhausted. Over.
Yeah, no worries. I was just curious if you were able to find what you needed there.
Well, we're curious too. We're excited to get there, but we just have to clean up these other little things first. Anyway, we'll get to it probably over the next day or so. Thanks, Mark, and thanks very much for checking in here. Good to hear you. And I guess you're going to be gone next week, so is this the last time we'll hear you for a while?
I believe so, although something has come up in Italy with my mom, so I might have to go. I might need to leave all of a sudden, and that could be a change in plan. Let's see. Let's keep fingers crossed and stay safe.
Yeah, okay. Well, hopefully that'll be okay. Understand about those situations there. Well, we'll listen for you Sunday night. If you're there, you're there. If you're not, we'll know you're not. Take care, Mark, and thanks very much. And again, thanks for giving us the tip on Carvana. We should have looked at it by now, but it just hasn't worked. But it will. We've got it on our mind. We know how to do it. So just a matter of getting to it. Too many things going on here in several different directions. Hi. KT2G and Los Altos, K6MYC. 73 for now, Mark.
Okay, thanks for running the net, Mike. Sorry I'm always late. 73, have a good evening.
You betcha. Bye-bye now. You need a little bigger antenna here, buddy.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Okay. You're stronger on 1296 with 10 watts than you are with this little peanut whistle and 70 watts, so makes a big difference. Thank you. 73.
73.
Anybody else in the Bay Area? K6MYC Bozo Net. Okay, nothing heard. I'm going to go back up to Oakley. There's Oakley. Let's see. That would be N6 Radio Oscar, wouldn't it? N6RO. Maybe he's having dinner. Maybe he's got a Zoom meeting. Maybe he's listening to old-time rock and roll. And mourning the death of Dwayne Eddy, or whatever his name was. Oh, well. We'll come back and get him later, maybe. K6MYC going to Sacramento. How about KJ6KFB? How about you, Darren? Any possibility of propagation tonight, over? somebody in there, but give me a little longer call so I can hear you for sure. K6MYC, over.
Sounds like Bill. I hear you, Bill. Are you hearing me? Give me some chatter. Yeah, give me some long chatter so I can peek on you, Bill.
Okay, all right, I'll give you a long chatter.
Yeah, KO6KD, W6BBS, Whiskey 6 Bravo, Bravo Sierra, DMO7. I barely hear you, Bill. You're S0, but 100% copy. So good evening to you, over.
Good evening, Frank. Good evening, Frank. Good evening. Good evening, Frank. Can you please relay to Mike that I was checking in? I've been waiting and waiting, and I have been waiting, but I haven't been able to check in. Can you check in number 776, over?
I got him. I hear you fine, Bill. KO6KD, K6MYC. Anything else to tell me?
No, just I've been off and on. I don't know. John, I know, was out here. I hear 6MR earlier. I don't know if he checked in. And I know Darren, he's been off and on here as well. So I don't know if those guys checked in or not. But if you could check those guys in, 756 and 759, KO6KD.
Yeah, okay. We'll get them both. I haven't heard Darren yet, but I just got up this direction. We're running a little late this evening, Bill. I was missing this morning. I didn't wake up and actually didn't get out of bed till 8:45, so I really blew it this morning, over.
Yeah, I blew it as well. I have not. I got to bed at 6:30, so you know I was a little cranky at 8 o'clock.
Okay. Well, I don't know if Phil was there, but Phil did not indicate that he heard anything from Bob. But Bob might have been not in there if he didn't hear anybody. If Phil didn't make any noise, Bob doesn't usually make any noise until somebody else comes on, over.
Yeah, that's true. So it seems like Bob's got more and more things to do, and that's why I was just kind of afraid that the morning group's going to wind up falling apart. But well, anyway, I'm going to try to be there tomorrow. I'm going to try my darndest to get to bed earlier tonight and actually get some sleep time before the alarm goes off.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, well, hopefully you'll feel better, and we'll look for you on the weekends as well. Hopefully the bands will have recovered from this funny flare. I don't think it usually doesn't affect that long path. Hardly anything affects the long path from my standpoint, but that remains to be seen. Anyway, I'll try to be in there at 8 o'clock in the morning on 40 meters, and then, of course, Saturday morning for sure on 20. We'll try for that. Looks like it's going to rain all day Saturday, which we're looking forward to, but may not start until noon or something. Anyway, it'll be good to get some more rain in here. The ground is hard as a rock right now. I'm having trouble pulling weeds. The ground is so hard I can't get the weeds to let go of it. So I did 4 barrels today, but with a great amount of time spent and effort. Well, I'm getting there. I'm about 2/3 done with the yard, getting all the weeds out, and then I'll have to start over again because they'll be growing back, over.
Yeah, I know that's the only drawback with getting water is all the weeds grow back again. Well, I'm still on the backup radio. I'm going to be on the A2, and it has the audio settings. As far as my audio settings and everything else, so we're going to try. Well, I'll try maybe tomorrow if you guys are around. I have to relearn the whole radio. It's a complicated radio full of menus, and I
very good. Well, when I heard from you on 6 meters the first night you had it on, it sounded okay. I wouldn't have never known that you weren't on your normal radio, except you were weaker. Over.
No kidding. Wow. Well, this radio does not put out nearly the power that the ICOM does. It's supposed to be a 100-watt radio, and at best I think it does about 80, maybe 85. So I'm not going to be able to drive the amplifier as well. So I may not be able to put out 1,500 watts. I'll be possibly more towards 1,000 watts or something like that. But, that even at that, that's better than a poke in the eye.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know how you can ever derive your ICOM amplifier. What amplifier do you have again?
The TL922 from Kenwood.
Well, that thing shouldn't need more than 100 watts to get well past legal limit, right?
No, not usually. It usually takes about 125 to get it up to. Depends on the band. On 80 meters, yes, you're right. On 20 meters, it'll never do legal limit on 10. But on 20 meters to do legal limit, it takes about 125.
Yeah, I mean, most radios only run 100 watts, and most amplifiers are made to run easily with 100. Amplifiers, because of FCC specs, cannot have more than 15 dB of gain. But 100 watts to 1,000 out, and then 13 dB of gain is 2,000 out. So I don't know why you would need more than 100 watts. So anyway, I drive my amp with 39 watts. I can get a kilowatt and a half plus a little bit more at 50 watts a drive. Over.
Well, you're using a different technology. You're on the solid state amps, and I don't know. You may be what you're running, but these tube amps and things. The 922 was designed in the era of the Kenwood 520 and the 820, and those, as you know, ran about 120 to 130 watts output using the 6146s. To achieve full power, you have to have about 120 watts. The amplifier will be happy, I suppose. As long as I can be heard, I may not be as strong in South Africa as I have been, but if I can at least join in and you guys can hear me, I can hear you. I'll be better than sitting here listening to an SDR wishing I could say something.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't think those radios made 120 watts. I don't know where you're getting that information. All those radios were spec'd at 100. They might have made a smidgen more, but I don't think there was many radios out there that were making more than 100 watts. Anyway, it doesn't matter. No point in arguing about it. I don't know of any radio when they said 100 watts, that's what they made, and you were lucky to get any more out of it. And you shouldn't need any more. As I say, most amplifiers had 13 dB of gain, and that should have gotten you, with 100 watts of drive, should have gotten you close to 2 kW.
Well, that's fine for input, but that's not going to be after you figure the efficiency of the tank circuit. You're only looking at the 55 to 60% efficiency on the output. So while you may have 2 kW input, you're not going to get 2 kW out.
Why not?
Because of the efficiency of the tank circuit. The tank circuit amplifier at best on a tube amp is at best about 50 to 55%.
The tubes were all capable of well in excess of 13 dB of gain, so there's no reason that I never saw a tank circuit that was what you said. They run 60% typically. I mean, it has to be a horrible tank circuit to run 55%.
Well, even at 60%, what's 60% of 2 kW?
Yeah, but I'm talking kilowatt output. I'm not talking about input.
Wow. Anyway, okay. Let's argue about this in the morning when we're both half asleep.
You try try to sell that watt meter to the FCC and they won't believe you. Over.
Okay.
Okay. No matter. You're loud. I don't think you need to worry about whether it's 1 kilowatt or 1.2 or 1.8. It doesn't make any difference. Nobody on the other end would ever know the difference.
Well, let's hope not. I hope I'll be able to be heard. So, anyway, I would like to be able to have enough coming out of the exciter so that I don't have to run the amplifier all the time, like I used to do all the time on 40. You guys heard me fine on 200 watts, but we'll see how it is. Well, maybe tomorrow, because the band has been horribly bad. I could not even hear you on, what was it, Monday and Tuesday, so, whatever. So, anyway, okay. Well, good night, Mike. Good night, Frank, and everybody else listening out there, and hopefully we'll catch you sometime tomorrow then.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think you'll notice the difference between 100 watts and 200. I'd be hard-pressed to see the difference. Phil was running a kilowatt at 1,500 watts today, and he was about S3. So nothing's going to work under the band conditions we've had the last couple of days. Over.
Yeah, it's just been horrible. And I was watching looking at the numbers, on the internet, and it's just horrible. We got hit with a double flare, and we're supposed to get hit with another one day after tomorrow. So I guess Saturday we're supposed to get hit with another flare. So for the time being, it's getting bad. But it'll eventually settle down.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll have to just deal with it, I guess. Hopefully it won't bother us. We can have some good chats. 7-3 for now, Bill. Try to get some sleep, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. KO6KD, and I've got 756 and 759 logged in. Now look for John now, K6MYC.
Okay, sounds good. 7-3, Mike. Good night, everybody. KO6KD.
Okay, KR6MR. John, I wonder if you're there. KR6MR, K6MYC. Over.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. K6MYC, KR6MR, Bozo 759, and good night, Bill. Over.
Yeah, you're a lot louder than Bill is tonight. Bill's never did come up to a normal signal strength. But it's not because of the wrong radio. He's got 9700, so nothing's changing there. I don't know what's going on. But he just did not come up at all. He was a marginal copy the whole time. Anyway, you're doing well, so good to hear you. And we've got you already logged in, but good to catch you here. KR6MR, sorry we're late. We're just kind of lazing through the evening here. K6MYC.
Yeah, that's okay. I've been working 6 all night, Midwest and East Coast FTH, so 6 has been pretty busy. If you look at the PSK report, it looks like the United States has bad case of chickenpox on 6 meters.
I missed a little bit of that. I didn't quite, I heard the words, but I didn't know. You say you're working the East Coast right now on 6?
Yeah, East Coast on 6 using FTA and Midwest. It has been pretty active today.
Were the signals strong enough to work on sideband on the East Coast?
I don't know if it's sideband. I've been doing FTA, over.
Well, I know, but if the numbers get into the plus category, it's easy as sideband, over.
There might have been some sideband, but they were probably all congregated on FTA because it's easier.
I missed it. What were they on FTA?
Say again, Mike?
I didn't understand what the signal reports were that you're hearing. What were the signals like on FT8?
Some of them were negative dB. Some were 0, 0. It varies.
Some of them were plus, and were they plus?
I'd have to go back and look at my log. I'm not really sure.
Okay, doesn't matter. Good enough. Don't worry about it. I I was on 6. In fact, the radio's on 6 meters right now looking east, but I don't think I've seen anything all day.
So take care. Yeah, I'll see you Sunday night. K6MYC, KR6MR, 73 Mike.
Roger, 7-3. And we'll keep an eye on 6. I didn't see anything today, but I haven't paid much attention. But the radio has been on 125 the whole time, but when I did look at the screen, I didn't see anything coming in all the way up to 313 and then some. 7-3, John, K6MYC, clear. Anybody else for the Bozo Net beaming into the Sacramento area? Kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie. About KD6 Sugar Whiskey, KD6 SW. Any copy up that way in Reading, KD6 Sugar Whiskey, KD6 SW. KD6 Sugar Whiskey, KD6 Sugar Whiskey, Reading, K6MYC, calling and standing by. Well, I guess I'll have to wait till Sunday night to get a report and whether you heard anything here or not with our long rag shoes to Bill and the rest of the guys pointing in your direction generally. Not hearing anything. If you're hearing me, you might come back on CW, Rich. KD6 Sugar Whiskey, K6MYC, CW. No, I'm not hearing anything. Okay, anybody else before we go to Nevada, K6MYC? Okay, Nevada, it's coming up. It's too late now, but let's see what happens. Nevada. Where's Ed, Nevada? KE7UQL or N7 Whiskey Tango. K6MYC, calling and listening. Yeah, KE7UQL, not strong but readable there, Daniel. KE7UQL 272, K6MYC. Have you heard Larry tonight?
Negative. All I've heard is you work in California, over.
Okay. Just me, huh? Okay, well, we'll make a couple of more calls, but it sounds like Larry's taking a hiatus here. Anyway, good to hear you on this band, Daniel. Good to hear you on this band. And we'll look for you, of course, Sunday night on 2 meters. But hopefully the conditions will stabilize and everything will get a little better. You're weaker than normal here, but I haven't tried to peak on you. If you make a little bit longer transmission on your final, I can see if I can find a peak. The antenna and the direction tonight on some signals is off a little bit. Other signals are right where they're supposed to be. So I think it's just band conditions, Daniel. Back to you, KE7UQL, K6MYC.
Roger. I'm getting ready for the contest this weekend. I'm looking at single 44018 at this time. Have the 2 meter back up for Sunday night. We'll see what we can do. This is KE7UQL from Delta Mike 09 Delta Fox.
Okay, well, you came way up for a second there, and then you dropped right back. You got 3 or 4 seconds at real strong, perfect copy, and then you dropped back to your initial level. Just like somebody throwing a switch. I know there's nothing wrong on either end. It's just these weird band conditions. Really unstable. Anyway, good luck in the contest, Daniel. Good luck in the contest, and I think you said you have to take the 44018 down. Is that it?
Yes, Roger. I'll be going HF. I'll be working 40 meters and 20 meters over.
Okay. What's the name of the contest this weekend?
It's the 7th area FUSO party, 7th call area FUSO party, over.
QSL, area QSO party. Well, maybe we'll get on. What's your favorite band?
Well, I'll be working 40 meters from 6 a.m. until probably about 10 or 11.
In the morning?
Sure, Saturday morning, 6 a.m. to 10 or 11.
Okay. Okay. What can you? Are we down in the extra part of the band?
Negative, maybe at .180.190 over.
Okay. I guess you're not an extra class. Is that it?
I could go there, over.
Okay, you can go there. Yeah, most of the mornings we're on every morning. Usually I missed this morning, but I was on there for a little while on 7137. So if you wanted to listen in, you'd hear us chatting away with some of the Bozo boys on 7137, Daniel. We start about 1500 Zulu and usually go about an hour, over.
Okay, Roger. I'll check out .137. I'll swing by there and see if I can hear anything, over.
Yeah, okay. You should hear me. I'm running 3 elements and about 1500, over.
Roger. I'll just have an NZ wire, a low wire, over.
Yeah, I understand. No problem. We hear about everybody that's out there. I'm on top of a hill here with 3 elements on 40 and 5 on 20 at 90 feet with a 1,000-foot drop-off in all directions, over.
A wonderful situation. Sounds beautiful, over.
Yeah, it is. It's a killer location for HF particularly. It's better on HF than it is on VHF because of the terrain advantage. All right, Daniel, 7-3, so we'll take a quick standby for Larry. He should have heard us by now if he's in there. Is there anybody else that wants to say hello to Daniel here? How about you, Rob?
Yeah, I'm just kind of barely hearing him. Once again, this is my setup. I'm not sure where I'm pointing. Daniel, KE7UQL, this is Kilo Mike 6, Sierra Romeo, DMO7, over.
DM6 SRR, this is KE7UQL. I've got you. You're a little fuzzy, but howdy and 7-3 to you, over.
Yeah, I heard my call sign of yours. I didn't quite get the verbiage after it, but I heard you say over. So we sort of got a contact, over.
He said he's got you. I guess that relates to S1. All right.
He was pretty low on the S meter, over.
Hear that, Rob?
There for a minute, there, over.
Okay, I heard his over.
Have a little longer transmission, Rob. Let him get to your ears tuned in.
Okay, yeah, Daniel, I was saying that I heard the over when you said over on your last transmission there. So we're kind of making it here, I guess. Pretty soon we'll have that airplane go over and we'll be able to get a good copy for about a few seconds, over.
Looks like it took a dive, Daniel?
Yeah, Roger, I'd have to catch him on a piece. He's going lower in signal strength. I'll just say this is KD7UQL, and I'll bid you 7-3, over.
Okay, yeah. He's got a much smaller system than I do, and I don't think he's running anymore, about 100 watts. What are you running for power, Rob?
Well, the 9700, let me look and see on the thing here what it says. Looks like 75 watts.
Yeah, he's running 75 watts to the 9700, so not a big signal on either side, Daniel. So it's good that you heard each other, and he's got a much smaller antenna as well. So it's just poor conditions, I'd say. Poor conditions are not very stable, and there's no big good peaks in there. 7-3, good evening, Daniel. We'll look for you on Sunday night, and good luck at the contest, as I said. We'll look for you maybe on 40 tomorrow morning for a test run, so to speak. Hi. AE7UQL with a pause for M7 Whiskey Tango K6MYC. Nothing heard.
Running a pretty good antenna, 432-13WL.
Yeah, no, that's a good antenna. I just have more than you do, that's all.
That's an understatement, Mike.
Well, the 13WL isn't that far from one of what I have here, so he's only maybe 3 dB down from me, 3 or 4 dB down. But I've got power and he doesn't. Anyway, good evening. Did you turn on the notch, or did it go away by itself?
It must have gone away by itself. I had to turn my notch on, but I didn't touch yours. I had a little birdie that's slowly moving through the passband.
Yeah, mine doesn't move. It's right on 100 all the time. Plus or minus about 200 cycles. That's it. But no, it's gone now. So it's coming from the house. And whenever I point at the house, I get it. I point over toward the Bay Area. I'm looking right across the house. So that's where it's coming from. Something in the house. I've had it for a long time. It's been there on every radio I had here. So it's not a radio-related birdie. It's a real one.
So I'm looking at the band numbers. The A index is 44, the K is 4, and yet and it's saying that all the bands are fair or poor, and I just worked Easter Island on 20 meter FT8, so I don't know. And there is some activity on 6 meters tonight, so who knows what's going on.
Yeah, well, the lower bands are less affected by this generally. The one that gets affected, sometimes good, sometimes bad, are the 10 meters and 12 meter bands. They get either bursted really well. Never know what these flares do and how they affect the bands and the spectrum. But a good deal on work at Easter Island there. I've been there and put it on the moon for a lot of people on 2 meters one time over.
Well, very good. Yeah, I worked Montana on 6 meters. He gave me a plus 11, and I sent him a plus 6. I'm like, we could have worked each other on sideband.
Yes, sir. Well, it sounds like the band is trying to open. I don't know what you'd call this. This could be early E-skip, but it's pretty early for E-skip, although we are getting into May. This could be his first E-skip opening.
Yeah, the DX Maps website is labeling this as sporadic E. There's 2 little storms. There's one out here on the West Coast, kind of over Nevada, and then there's another one over on the East Coast, because you can kind of see, a star pattern of people on the West Coast working each other and a star pattern of people on the East Coast working each other, and not too much in between.
Yeah, typical E-skip, or sporadic E, as you call it. Alrighty, well, good. At least the band's starting to perk up here, and people are having fun. I don't know. Hopefully they'll get off of the FT8 thing. E-skip is usually, you could see signals at 40 and 50 over 9 at times. When it gets like that, you quickly switch over to 2 meters and tell the guy on the other end to get on 2 meters on 144-200, and I'll work you.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, and somebody in Hawaii worked Australia and South America, so that's a long haul for them. But yep, it's doing stuff. K6USY.
Yeah, I don't think that's transequatorial, probably, and maybe a little E-skip mixed in, but that sounds like transequatorial. I had a place on the west coast of a big island of Hawaii at 2,300 feet. And one day we worked 9 Hotel 1 in Malta over the long path into the mountain. It was the goddamnest thing you've ever seen, pointing southeast, and I worked into 9 Hotel 1. Myrna worked it too. It was so damn strong, and it lasted so long I got her up there, had her make a contact with the guy too. Over.
Oh, very good. Yeah, we have such a strange hobby. It just does all kinds of wonky stuff.
You better believe it. All right, well, listen, guys, I've pushed this longer than I should have. I meant to get out of here earlier, but I just was rambling on with Dennis, and I thought some of that conversation with Dennis might be helpful. I was trying to get Dennis to tell us exactly why he was replacing everything, but he wasn't. He's just replacing some things. But he's had more trouble with connectors than 6 other people, so I don't know what he's doing. But he's buying those connectors that are put on by DX Engineering. I would question whether I'd continue to buy from them or get some from somebody who knows what they're doing.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you can also do yourself some favors by making sure that you put things in certain positions and seal stuff up.
Yeah, I don't know. He's had a lot of problems with water. He trust the seal that they put on him. No. Got to tape up the back shells and all kinds of different places. You don't have to necessarily tape up the face of an end connector because it has an O-ring in there. A little bit of silicone grease in the face of the connector, and it should never leak. But it can get in a lot of other ways. Over.
Oh yeah, water's good at doing that. So how many did you get, Rob? K6USY.
I've got 21 here, KM6SR.
My God, I got 21, not counting me. 22 counting me. No, I got one open space. 21.
And 22 counting me, and 6 BYH.
Oh, okay, 22. Hi, Mike.
And you can probably put down Bozo
I've been sitting here listening for a bit. Just got back from baseball practice and dinner at Chipotle, and just been here about 15 minutes listening.
You practicing baseball or your kids?
My son.
Okay, good deal.
So, good evening, everyone. We'll catch you on Sunday.
Absolutely.
Mike, N6BYH, KM6SR.
Hello, Rob.
And hi, Mike, K6USY.
Yeah, K6USY and 6BYH. Hello, Aaron, right?
Yeah. Your memory's still working tonight. And Mike, did you get down Bozo 1100?
No, I didn't put her in there. That'll put us at 23 then, I guess.
Yeah, she's in the other room playing on her phone, but we'll give her a pass.
Okay, I'll put her in here. K6 ZKA 1100. Good evening, Brittany.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a longer mic cord one of these days, and I'll just go chuck it into her lap and say, "Here, talk."
Yeah, say hi, Mike. This is Bozo 1100. Bye.
I'll just get a recording of her doing that.
There you go. Okay, well, nice to have you in here, Mike. Understand about the baseball practice. That's always way more important than doing the net here, but we appreciate you jumping in for a minute. N6BYH, K6USY, KM6SRR, and whoever else might be listening. Frank's probably still listening. Good evening to you, Frank. And Jen, how's she doing, K6MYC? I think Frank gave up. When we go to Nevada, he gives up. Okay.
And you put him to sleep again.
I guess I did.
Yeah, good night, all. And 6BYH.
Good night, Mike.
Good night, Mike.
Good night, Mike.
Good night, Mike.
Good night, Rob. Are you over the delirium tremors from studying?
Yeah, I think my heart finally stopped racing and I'm back to somewhat normal here, although today was kind of a rough day, working out in the field all day long in the hot sun. Over.
Oh, don't give me that crap. I pulled full barrels of weeds off a sloping hillside. My knees are so sore, the skin of my knees, from even with a rubber pad under my knees, it was hard because I kept sliding on the slope.
Well, a slope you don't have to bend over so much. Yeah, I had knees on directly on the asphalt because I wasn't planning on going out in the field and didn't have my knee cushion with me. But we did a lot of shoveling, digging up pipes all over the place, and so it was a tough day. And then on my way after work going over to Marcus's place, I seemed to hit every dang light. Every single light stopped me. Over.
You ought to have that same vision that Jonathan Winters had. I didn't have any problem with his eyesight. He made every light coming down. Over.
Yeah, I guess I'm too dense to follow that.
No, it's just an old Jonathan Winters bit. You know, I ain't colorblind. I made all the lights coming down.
Okay, I don't think I got the colorblind thing in the first one there. Yep, sounds good.
I didn't say colorblind, but I should have. Anyway, it was just some kind of a side note joke that Jonathan Winters used to always say. if he was late for something. I got here in a hurry, and I know I'm not colorblind. I made all the lights coming down.
Oh, and Rob's extra upgrade hit the SCC database today, so he doesn't have to do the stroke alpha echo thing anymore.
Okay, we'll let you off the hook now, Rob.
Okay, thank you very much. That was another thing that gave me trouble. Spent 45 minutes fooling on their website and couldn't get the thing going because they weren't answering or weren't on. I thought my internet service was down, but it got other stuff. So I ended up going a different direction, and of course none of the choices made sense. And then my mouse quit working. The batteries ran out of the wireless mouse. So I had fun there. I did a few things with some keystrokes and managed to at least get the darn thing printed out there. Over.
I didn't know you invited Murphy for the weekend.
Well, when you sent over Edsel right behind him, that's where my problem was.
Oh, is that what it was? I shouldn't have sent his brother.
Yep. Anyways, Aaron, if you got a minute, I had a question. Marcus is going to have me help him move some of his long antennas without having to take them all apart over to his new QTH. And I'm wondering on some of those radials, you got to put those together. I should be able to unscrew one or so of them so that I can lay it flat on the trailer. Over.
Oh, for the vertical?
Yeah, Roger.
Yeah, those just unscrew from the base. Just, stick them in a Ziploc bag and just, hold on to them. But, yeah, they should just come right out.
Okay, yeah, I'm just going to do it while we transfer them over, and then I'll put it back in the antenna for him there. Over.
Yeah, you definitely want to keep them from getting bent. And that antenna comes in two sections, but then you got to, take it apart internally. But, yeah, if you just take the ground plane radials off, then you should be able to transport it no problem.
Where's his new house from?
I think he said it was over somewhere on Champlain and the street I used to live right next to there. I'll think of it in a minute.
Did he ever say why he's moving?
No, I guess he just said it was kind of a big house. He didn't really need it or something. Over.
Oh, so he's moving to a small, more compact location with better neighbors, huh?
Well, and it was never really his house. He inherited it when his aunt died, so it was never really, he never really felt like that was his place.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I'm going to leave this conversation. It's getting weird.
Well, yeah. Well, what can I say? It's Marcus.
No, I know. All right, good night, guys. I'm going QRT, K6MYC 73. See you Sunday night.
Okay, Mike, good night. You going to be on for the 1296 Friday night? Over.
I might wander out there, but that remains to be seen.
Okay, sounds good. Anyway, Shepherd was the other street. It's somewhere by Champaign and Shepherd. It's kind of in my old stomping grounds where we used to live, and we were on the east side of Woodward Park. Over.
Yeah, out there on Willow.
Well, Champaign and Shepherd, or Perrin and Shepherd. I think it was Champlain and Shepherd. Yeah, that curves down there. Sort of goes by Cedar and Shepherd, I guess. They're over.
Oh, a little further into town. Okay, got it.
Anyway, he doesn't have anybody to help him move the long antennas, and I didn't want to take them all apart. So, but to lay them flat on the trailer, I got to take off at least one of the radials so that it doesn't harm him. Over.
Yeah, you're such a prince, Rob.
He needs some help. He's moving into a temporary house that he's renting right now, and then I think he's getting the trailer all fixed up, a mobile home trailer at the church, and he'll probably end up staying there for a while. Over.
I'm not clear on this. He's bought a house in Shepherd, Champlain area. He's moving into a trailer. Why?
He didn't buy the house. He's renting it.
Oh. What's he doing with the trailer?
He's having it fixed up so he can move into it and stay there. He bought the trailer. Was
he going to put the trailer on the house property or somewhere else?
I think now he's going to probably leave it on the church property there. They're fine with that. I guess that would give them somebody to be there to kind of watch over things now and again too. Over.
Okay. I don't think I'll ever understand, but we'll let it go. And is he going to put these antennas up, or is he just putting them in storage?
Well, I told him he ought to put that one up that Aaron made for him. It's really nice and everything. So I think he'll probably do that. I'm not sure how long he's going to be at the house. Maybe 6 months or a year, something like that. Over.
Okay, so this is just a 10-meter vertical?
No, it's a 2 meter, 70 centimeter, 1.2 gig vertical. It's the exact same vertical that I have.
Okay, well, I thought it was something big. I hate to see Rob go to all the trouble helping him get all it up and then take it down in a few months.
Yeah, it's not very big, but at least allow him to get into the local repeaters and stuff. He's one of our net control operators for the club.
Yeah, no, I understand. I thought it was an HF thing. Okay, 7-3 guys. Good night.
All right, good night, Mike. Yeah, it's including the mast is about 23 feet long. That's why I can fold it in half, but the one piece left on the mast is still too long for the pickup truck, so I got to take it on the trailer. And I don't want to take off all the nice wire ties that holds up the feed lines along the mast there, so we're going to move it as is. Over.
Oh, very good, Rob. Yep. Well, zip ties are easy to put back on. You can always cut those off.
Yeah, but it's not necessary really. So he's got some other ones he had taken off the roof there, so we're gonna move all those over together at the same time. He's got a bracket up there that he didn't put any antenna on the side of the roof too there. So I don't know if that's where this one was going to go or what, but I told him I'd help him take that down. Over.
Yeah, that's what the plan was, and we just were never able to get it, put up. We ran out of time that day, and then he started talking about selling the house. That stuff just never ended up going up. So, oh well. Give me a second here. I'm going to drop us off the internet here. Good night to everybody listening on YouTube. K6USY DMO6.